I'm Doug Brown. On this day before the NFL draft, the Broncos get quarterback Teddy Bridgewater in a trade with the Panthers. Carolina gets a 6th-round pick and will also pick up $7 million of Bridgewater's $10 million salary for 2021. Wideout Antonio Brown will re-sign with the Buccaneers on a 1-year deal worth up to $6.25 million. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky says watch out for the Super Bowl champs.
Think about this football team. It is significantly better than last year. Not a little bit, significantly better. AB is back. O.J. Howard's coming. He tore his Achilles last year. He's coming back, and he's going to be healthy. They just signed Gio Bernard, who's going to be a pass-catching back for them.
Dan Orlovsky on Get Up. Full coverage of the NFL Draft starts tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV, 8 Eastern on ABC. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Giants running back Saquon Barkley is on track to be ready for the start of next season. Barkley is recovering from a torn right ACL in Week 2 last year against the Bears.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
And the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Triplett. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Let's hump, everybody.
It's hump day.
Draft day. 1 day away.
Hump day.
Mickey Loomis met with the media.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Gave us all of his draft secrets.
It's hump day.
Everything that you want to know about the Saints' plans.
Hump day.
Disclose them all.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Gave out his player rankings.
It's hump day.
Gave out compensation for trades they're planning.
Hump day.
Actually, he did none of any of that at all.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Sporting events. 100% capacity.
It's hump day.
We know how much Kim Mulkey's getting paid.
Hump day.
We're talking booze with Taylor Calandro.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell.
It's hump day.
How about that? Old Russ back in hour 3 today.
Hump day.
Send me a text that, hey, want to come on? Talk draft.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Playoff scenarios.
It's hump day.
And LSU's embarrassment. His words.
Hump day.
His words, not mine. So Russ in hour 3. All right.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And Mike Triplett, 1 hour from right now. Okay. I forgot also Alden Cartwright today as well. Ryne, you got the Cartwright drop?
Hump day.
Oh, no.
No biggie, Brain. I just ask you for that all the time. One of the staples.
He hadn't been on in a minute.
I mean, it's on the rundown.
Yeah, I know.
You get the rundown well before the show.
You do give me the rundown.
You could have seen that he was on the show.
I could have seen him on.
We do hump day every Wednesday, Brain.
I know. I did the hump day.
Well, I mean, you knew I was going to say Cartwright.
I did not, and I still don't have it.
Brain. Brain. Brain, you are so fired.
Here we go again.
I'm serious this time.
Are you serious this time?
You're fired, Brain.
You can't fire me. Matt, the show, you can't fire me, okay? You've tried, 3-4 times a week?
I'd say 3-4 times a day.
Probably.
Yeah, I know. You're fired. You are.
You're not going to find someone to replace me.
Oh, I'll find somebody.
I don't. How are you going to find someone?
I'll find somebody.
The show is off. It's 3:05 in the afternoon.
There's people just lining up, waiting.
What, throughout the building?
Yes.
Sales floor disappears because they don't want to hear you screaming all day.
Now, that might be true, but I'll find somebody.
I don't know.
Who wants to come in here?
You really think you're going to find somebody?
Hey! Anybody want to come produce AFR? Hey. Oh, look. Musso's here. Where'd you come from, Musso? Musso's here, Brain. How about that?
Was he there the whole time?
Musso, were you there the whole time? He was there the whole time.
You know what? I believe that.
He fits down there. Is that where you stay?
He's got like a pillow and some Cheez-Its.
Well, how about that, Brain?
All right.
See? Now you're really fired, Brain. Musso's here.
Fine.
Musso, you want to produce AFR?
Fine.
Right. Musso's in.
Fine.
Brain,
No,
you're
fine.
out.
Fine.
See you.
Phone.
Yeah.
Fine. Take it.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's what's going to happen
Musso.
there. Right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's what's happening.
Fine. I'm out.
Yeah, you are out. Told you.
You did.
So that's what I get. That's I want the Barbie girl. I wanted the Barbie girl.
You got the Barbie girl.
I'd rather a Barbie girl instead of a pooping brain.
You got the Barbie girl.
Barbie girl, greater than sign, pooping brain.
Fine.
Isn't that true? Who wouldn't prefer to be with a Barbie girl than a brain that has to poop?
I'll have that.
Right, that's what we're gonna do.
My headphones.
Give him his headphones.
Headphones. A water bottle.
What
That's
if
all I need.
I think you maybe stole those headphones in that
I
water
need my
bottle.
headphones and my water bottle. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's it.
Yeah. Well then go.
I'm going.
We're here. We're doing. I got a producer.
Got him.
I got one. Why are you still here?
I'm out.
You're not out. You're literally still standing right there. I love you too. I love you too. Brain's leaving. He just came and gave me a hug.
Bye.
Get out of here. Brain, fire. Finally got rid of that guy. Huh. I mean, did you ever think he was going to leave? I mean, did you think he was ever going to leave?
I don't know. I was waiting down there for a pretty long time.
How awkward was that? The guy just wouldn't leave. He kept saying, I'm going to leave. But he didn't leave. And I finally left. I miss him already. Welcome back, Muse.
It's great to be back.
Matthew Musso back in the saddle. So, in all seriousness, though, I do want to thank Hald. I shouldn't. We were going to play the bit and just leave it hanging forever there. But then he came and hugged me and made me all emotional. So, Brian Haldane did us all a magnificent favor during COVID. Everybody during COVID was asked to do more, quite honestly. And Moose was producing the show, and he got moved to OTB in the morning. And Haldane, who hosts Morning Drive on Talk 107.3, not only did that, but also came back and produced AFR for a year. And that is, as Musso can, how long have you been doing mornings now, Muse?
About a year. I mean, ever since
that makes
Brian
sense.
left, yeah.
Mornings suck. They suck. It's great that your day is over really early, but the wake-up call, what time would you wake up?
My alarm would go off at 4:35 in the morning.
And that's actually kind of pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would do all my showering and everything at night. That way I could just get up, brush teeth, get clothes on, and leave.
Brother, when I hosted Morning Drive, I would get up at 3:30. Like, I'd never get. Anyway, so Brain has been hosting a morning show and coming back and producing in the afternoons for like a year. And I'm very, very, very grateful. I just sincerely grateful. But as have most things in the world, we've begun to settle again now as we move through COVID. We're able to staff up again and sort of operate properly again. And so Mario Jerez is producing off the bench. Musso moves back to AFR, which allows Brian Haldane to go do the job he's paid to do here, which is host Morning Drive on Talk 107.3. So, dude pulled his weight in more than his weight in a big way. And I've known Brain forever, obviously. We get along great. We have a great relationship. He's not really, he's fired. The defiant SOB. I can't lie to you. Okay, so we do have a ton to get to today. The draft is tomorrow. Mike Triplett 1 hour, less than an hour from now, actually. Mickey Loomis did meet with the media earlier today. Let me, just for the sake of staying on time, let me knock out our first break, and when we come back, we'll let you hear some of what Mickey Loomis had to say. Brought to you by Pluckers. Remember, tomorrow, our draft party is at Pluckers, so come and join us. I'll be there. We'll be giving away tons of swag, and someone is going to win a $500 Pluckers gift card, so make sure to join us. Pluckers on Bluebonnet tomorrow. Let me also remind you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Different areas. Why are you laughing? What are you laughing at?
I didn't know you had the hat with you. You just threw a hat on out of nowhere.
Well,
I don't know.
I keep my Hudco hat right there, Muse, because the Hudco hat has become like the #1 fashion accessory of 2021. I throw Hudco hat parties, and people come out of the woodwork just to get one. Do you have one of these hats?
I love hats. I might have to get one of those hats.
Do you want one of these hats?
One of every hat.
There you go. You have a Hudco hat. Actually, Muse, you probably don't want that one because I do wear makeup. And so if you look at the inside of that, that's like my base makeup.
There's something
that's
there.
What that is for my forehead.
I've got to get my own hat.
It's for my forehead. I'll get you one. I got tons. You know what you could do, Muse? You can come to Pluckers tomorrow. Come to Pluckers. I'll give you your own Hudco hat, Muse. How about that?
Sounds great.
I'll probably get you some free wings and beer, too. See?
Now I'm really sold.
It pays to be the AFR producer. But in all seriousness, HudcoRoofing.com. Terrio says it all the time. Do business with someone you know. This is a partnership that Terrio and I have entered into with our friends at Hudco. We're all a part ownership in the group, and we'd love to help you. We're not going to be door knockers. We're not going to be pushy and aggressive. We just want to help people. If you're a homeowner, a property owner in anywhere statewide, and you have a roof issue, we want to help you through it. We got insurance experts on staff that what they do is help you file your claim. So if you had hail, high wind, you see shingles on the ground, you think you might have had hail damage, before you call your insurance company, give us a shout at Hudco. We'll come by, give you that free, no-obligation roof inspection. We'll let you know if you have damage and make a recommendation if you should file a claim. And then we will work with your insurance company to get that claim approved and get you a new roof, and all you pay is your deductible. HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Easy to fill out contact form. You call us, or there's a text bubble right there, bottom right of the website. And if you want to, go to the website, hit the text bubble, because when it pops up, it covers my face. Look at that, Muse. Check that out. Look, if you hit the text bubble, it covers my face. HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, it's after further review. Let's talk some draft. You'll hear from Mickey Loomis next. It's AFR.
AFR.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary, health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9640.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
In terms of strength of the draft, I think, really the only thing I'd say is I think it feels a little more, it feels stronger offensively than defensively is probably the best way to put it.
Mickey Loomis earlier on Wednesday meeting with the media and his customary pre-draft press conferences. We are one day away from the draft, a little more than 24 hours from right now. First round of the draft will be getting underway, and we'll see what the Saints elect to do at 28. I am obviously fascinated by this. I love the draft. If you've hung around the show for any length of time, you understand that. But this is one of those drafts there with post-Breeze era and with having lost so many players into free agency, starting players in free agency with Hendrickson and Sheldon Rankins and Malcolm Brown and obviously cutting Janoris Jenkins and Quan Alexander, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You've got to go. You've got to hit. You have to hit. And Mickey Loomis was asked if he felt that this draft was more important than previous drafts.
No, I don't think that's the case. It feels pretty normal. Obviously, the process is a little different than it has been in most years, but I don't think we always feel urgency with the draft and opportunity to improve our team, but I don't feel like it's any different with regard to how important it is.
Now, one of the things, and Mike Triplett will be with us in about 45 minutes, and I'll ask him this, but one of the things that's pretty common with this pre-draft press conference is Mickey Loomis tells you nothing. There's no reason at all that the general manager of an NFL team 24 hours before the draft is going to disclose anything that might tip his hand toward anything they're going to do. So I would expect all of his answers to be somewhat bland and indirect, quite honestly. So to hear him say it doesn't feel more important, I would expect him to say that. But internally, you've got to nail this because you don't have money to spend in free agency. Now, Sean Payton, when he was at Zurich last week, was meeting with the media, and he asked if they had any needs, and he was pretty candid, and he said, there's one, and he talked about cornerback. And that's pretty obvious. The only cornerbacks you have outside of Marshawn Lattimore, who has his own legal circumstance right now, are Patrick Robinson and P.J. Williams that have starting experience. Neither one of those guys you want to go into the beginning of this season as your boundary corner. So unless if you're going to go spend in free agency on Richard Sherman, you've got to draft a corner. The tricky part for New Orleans is you're sitting there at 28. And the general feeling in this draft is that the top corners, the corners who have first-round grades, may not be there at 28. So Mickey Loomis addressed that if he thought there was value at corner at 28.
Look, I think there's going to be good players. I think there's going to be guys that can come in and help our team at that position as well as others. And yet, I also, I would say no different than most years, is that you really want to, when you're down, particularly in the back half of the draft, you want to be able to take the best player available. And sometimes that's a glaring card that sits on your board above all others. And it may, in fact, most of the time it's not at the position that you might prefer.
And we've seen that before. Look, the best example of that was in 2017 when they used their second of 2 first-round picks to take Ryan Ramczyk. And that's important because if you remember in context, you had spent a bunch of money on Teron Armstead as your left tackle. And remember, Ramczyk was a left tackle at Wisconsin. So you had given Armstead the big extension, and Zach Strief was your starting right tackle. And at that point, there was no indication that Zach Strief was done. But early that season, Strief gets injured, Ramczyk goes in, and he's been your starting right tackle at an all-pro level since. But when the Saints took Ryan Ramczyk, they didn't need a tackle. But they took the best player on the board, and it's worked out. So there is reason to think, given the Saints' history, that they'll take the best player available, even if it's not a cornerback at 28. But cornerback's going to be interesting because I'm looking at Mike Detillier's M&D draft report here. So Mike has Patrick Surtain as his best cornerback, and he's got Caleb Farley ranked as his second best cornerback. J.C. Horn as his third, and then Greg Newsome, who Mike has talked about a lot here out of Northwestern for months now, as his fourth best corner. But Greg Newsome's star has started to shine a little brighter, and it's largely thought he's not going to be on the board when the Saints pick. So the question the Saints may have is one of two. Are you willing to take a guy like Tyson Campbell? For what it's worth, a 19.22 rating, which means Mike gives him a late first, early second round grade. So he would qualify according to this grading system. Or if Caleb Farley falls, do you take him? And that's where we talk about every year. We talk about the most important part of the combine. Well, obviously, there wasn't a formal combine this year, but the most important part of the combine is the medical. We all know these guys run fast and jump high and they're strong. I mean, now they measure their hands and all this stuff too, but none of that actually really matters. What matters the most is the medical. We've seen guys that, the medical and the interview, quite honestly. We've seen guys that we all thought would be highly drafted that fall because of either misgivings off the field or their medical. Look, Derry Beckwith's a guy who's been a friend of the show. Derry went undrafted. Derry was projected as a top 100 pick in the draft. Went to Indianapolis for the combine, had to disclose about the knee injuries he had at LSU. Nobody passed him on a medical. So he went undrafted, ultimately signed with San Diego as an undrafted free agent. And you know what? As much as I love Derry, they were right. His knees didn't hold up, and so he had a short career. So what did the medical reveal on Caleb Farley? And if he falls to the Saints at 28, it's probably because most other teams failed him on their medical. So at what point are you comfortable pulling the trigger? Look, we could have the same conversation about Jalen Smith when he had the brutal injury coming out of Notre Dame in that Fiesta Bowl. And he fell into round 2. And the Cowboys took him with one of the top picks of round 2. They basically gave him a redshirt season, and now he's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. So there are hits and there are busts. That's part of the crapshoot of the draft, the challenge of the draft, and also why, in part, I love it. There's also obviously going to be a question about the Saints moving up. Can we play number 6, please? Loomis was asked about because of the holes in the roster, like we just talked about, could this cause them to be even more aggressive in moving up in this draft?
I probably look at it a little differently. I don't see a lot of holes in our roster. I mean, obviously, we've got the ability to sign up to 90 players, but in terms of our roster, I think it's hard to make our team. I think we have a lot of talent, a lot of positions, and when you look at each of these position groups, a lot of times it's hard to envision a rookie coming in and displacing some of our veterans. So I wouldn't say that volume is a priority for us. I think quality is a priority for us.
Again, Mickey Loomis meeting with the media earlier today. He says this draft doesn't feel more important. It does to me, and I'm guessing it does to many of you also. They'll get it kicked off tomorrow. Saints set to pick 28th, although we know in their history this is a franchise that gets aggressive. They move up in the draft, and this very well could be a year where we see them do that. So remember, tomorrow for the draft, T-Bob and Hester will do a companion show from studio on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. I will be out at Pluckers on Bluebonnet for their 16th annual Pluckers draft party. So if you're looking for something to do, come hang out. I will have Hudco hats. I will have shirts and cups and koozies from Sazerac Rye. Stevie Levy, the king of the wing, has scored a Coors Light beer fridge, which is shaped like the Rocky Mountains. It's pretty stinking sweet. And we're going to give that away. And someone is going to win a $500 Pluckers gift card. So tons of swag. It's free to enter for all that stuff. Show up, eat wings, drink beer, watch the draft, hang out. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Okay, now got a quick break. Go around the SEC. Little Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. Mike Triplett, 34 minutes from right now. Also in hour 2, our SEC Spring Recap pulls into Athens, Georgia. We'll talk to Alden Cartwright. A ton to do today. Thank you. And glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. I was having a conversation yesterday with Darren James. And one of the really interesting parts right now about this market, this home market, this real estate market being so hot, is that it actually benefits both buyers and sellers. Yes, there's no doubt. If this is a seller's market and that you can get top dollar for your property, but because interest rates are so low, home buyers are able to afford more home because it's cheaper to lend. So it's really a very flat market in that respect. It's a very even market. So if you want to sell your home, you know what to do. Call the realtor who sells more homes than anyone. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting dreams come true.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The Dream Come True Radiothon is presented today by Home Bank. Donate now at 1045ESPN.com.
Thank you, Muse. SEC has altered their COVID protocols. They will now no longer require fully vaccinated individuals who are asymptomatic to participate in the league's surveillance testing program. Also, fully vaccinated SEC staff and players no longer have to quarantine following exposure to someone with COVID-19. So fantastic news as we continue to move through the pandemic as more people get vaccinated. The SEC softening its rules as far as COVID, and obviously those rules, contact tracing, the quarantine period, are what disrupted so many games in football and basketball and all the sports as they were trying to get back into play when you had shortened rosters. Of course, a couple of LSU games last year, the Florida game originally, and then the Bama game were rescheduled because of those reasons. So those now, if you've been vaccinated, no more. Even if you're exposed, no worries. Go play. You're good if you're vaccinated. So that's fantastic news as we move through. We'll go around the SEC. We also got some other fantastic news today. LSU, after the governor yesterday removed the mask mandate and allowed 100% capacity at outdoor venues, LSU has announced 100% outdoor stadium capacity. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. The truth shall set you free. I don't know if that applies to this at all, but it felt right. Holy crap, this is going to be so cool. Y'all, it's been more than a year since most of us have been able to gather at a capacity event. The reason that you attend sporting events is the spectacle. You can watch a movie. The reason you go to the movie is the spectacle. You can listen to a CD. You go to the concert for the spectacle, the environment, the vibe, the crowd, the energy. Most of us who have lived our whole lives doing that hit the pause button for a year, and now you can do it again. And for LSU baseball, could this have come at a better time?
It absolutely could not have.
Now, here's my question for you, Muse. How many games have you been to this year?
I have not kept count. I have finagled my way into more than the 15 that were supposed to be allotted.
Okay. So you've been to quite a few.
Yes.
How would you describe the atmosphere at the box?
It's not the box. I mean, I think everybody knows what I mean when I say that. Stale.
Stale is a great way to put it. Now, if you were watching LSU Ole Miss last weekend, as much as I hate to say it, a-holes doing beer showers in right field and people who have never won a damn thing ever standing and cheering, and when you start rallying in the eighth and the crowd starts getting more and more into it and you ride that wave, don't tell me you weren't envious of that.
Of course you were. I know I was.
I was. So, looking at you, LSU baseball fan, the number one team in the country is coming to the box this weekend. Might I remind you, this is the team that wilted amid a stupid possum running on the field back in 2017. This is the team, might I remind you, that folded, dropping a pop fly in Omaha that would have won the national championship. That's
my favorite Arkansas memory.
That's the best one of all, right? And I got family in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So, and if they had actually won a championship or something, they would have been insufferable. And the fact that I now get to laugh at them at that even more, so I kind of felt bad for Dave Van Horn. You know, he was like,
yeah.
So he put his hand over his mouth like, oh my God, that just happened. And then of course they lost, and they lost the next day. My point is, Arkansas is not mentally strong. They're not mentally tough. They're very talented. Very talented.
Powerful.
As a people, the people of Arkansans, they are not mentally tough people. They will fold and wilt. They do spirit fingers as their cheer.
They do.
And they cheer for hogs.
That's what they call a sloppy animal.
The pigs roll around in the muck and poop. Telling you. Get you a ticket. Get out to. By the way, you know what else is 100% capacity?
What's that?
Tailgating.
Yep.
All good. All good. You want to go to the box? Put tents up.
Roast a hog, maybe?
Roast a hog. Chug beer, shotgun beers at 3 o'clock tomorrow while listening to AFR in the parking lot.
Of course.
You can do it. Woo! All right. 100%. So, and obviously, that also means football will be 100% capacity. So buy your tickets, eat, drink, be merry, go celebrate. Glad you're here. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Running back Jaquazie Walker, who was actually the Rebels' leading rusher in the Grove Bowl, he's been removed from the team's roster. 5 running backs did not play in the Grove Bowl due to injury or being unavailable. Also, a trio of walk-ons have entered the transfer portal, a couple of linebackers, and a defensive back.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
4-star quarterback Taven Jackson announced his commitment to Tennessee. And coach Josh Heupel. Jackson is a 6'4", pro-style quarterback. Had offers from Florida State, Texas A&M, UCLA, among others. He's out of Indiana, the number 18 pro-style quarterback in the nation, the number 326 prospect overall. He is the 3rd commitment for the class of 2022. Meanwhile, on the diamond for the Tennessee Volunteers, the 4th-ranked Volunteers, mind you. 4th best team in all the land. They lost their midweek game to Lipscomb this week. 4-1. Vols left 13 runners on base. Now they look to rebound at home against Kentucky starting on Thursday. But we all know you cannot lose a midweek game to Lipscomb. Be a good baseball team. Tennessee, frauds.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Speaking of frauds, Russ Mitchell at 5:15. Georgia Tech defeated Georgia 7-5. Georgia Tech, unranked. Georgia, ranked 20th, lost their midweek game. Georgia pitchers walked 10 Yellow Jacket hitters. Bulldogs are screwed. They return to SEC action Thursday against Auburn, who might be in last place But as we all know, you cannot lose your midweek games and be a good team. Meanwhile, LSU 10-0 in midweek games. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale, Louisiana's largest and best office equipment provider, featured recently in the Baton Rouge Business Report. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, North Shore, official office equipment provider of LSU Athletics, of the Saints, of the Pelicans, and should be of your company as well. Gulf Coast Office Products. Okay, it's after further review. We will knock out a quick break. Taylor Calandro set to join us for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Not sure if you heard the news, but Taylor, we have been chronicling his journey to fatherhood. Baby Calandro came a little early. And Taylor is a dad. So I texted him earlier. I was like, hey, man, hope you're sleeping. Not in this moment, but I hope you're getting some sleep is what I meant. Still good to do radio. I was like, absolutely. So Taylor Calandro will join us next for a little Bourbon Dictionary. If you have questions for Taylor, get your booze questions in. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona. Jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can always text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Text your questions for Bourbon Dictionary, and we'll get to those next. Bourbon Dictionary wraps up hour number 1 of AFR, presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana, because every single day, like literally every day of my life, I get stories from people, from friends who, from listeners who have taken my advice. They've called Insurance Network of Louisiana. They've called Insurance Network of Louisiana, and they saved. Better coverage for less money, like I tell you all the time. Adam sent me this one. AFR listener named John wrote their home and auto, saved him about $1,200 annually. His last agent dropped the ball, and he wasn't carrying uninsured motorist coverage on the auto. So they added uninsured motorist coverage and still saved $1,200 a year. Better coverage for less money. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450. Call them right now. It's easy and painless and free to have them shop. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new RAV4 for $329 per month. That's $329 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
No matter what type of exercise you like to do, let Spectrum Fitness be a part of your exercise routine. Our low monthly rates and variety of choices will keep you moving toward your fitness goals. Come by and check us out today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour 1. How about our guy, proud Papa Taylor Calandro, Taylor Jr., born last week on 4/22. Taylor joins us now to answer your booze questions. How are you, man?
Tired.
Are you sleeping at all?
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit of sleep, but much less than I was prior to last Thursday.
Welcome to the rest of your life.
Yes, for the next at least 18 years.
Nope. And here's what they don't tell you. Your body is going to be so conditioned that you can never wake up late again.
You see,
why do you think old people wake up at 5 a.m.? It's what they do.
Yeah, well, because they just can't physically sleep. But I don't know. We'll see. My favorite thing in life is sleeping. Way more than whiskey, anything else. Number one on my list is sleeping. So.
You love to sleep. You love to do something that you're not even conscious doing.
Oh, yeah. No, sleeping is like my favorite thing on earth. I guess I'm just weird. I don't know, but I love sleeping.
Well, you and I are going to have a conversation about that. But nonetheless, congratulations. Mama and baby are good. Everybody's good?
Mama and baby are good. Yeah, we're just trying to get in the groove of everything. I mean, we've been home since Saturday, so just trying to get in the groove.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, congrats. Let's talk some booze in the meantime. Y'all know the drill. If you got questions for Taylor, fire away. Anything you want to ask about anything relating to booze, you could certainly do that. I sent you this story earlier today. Conor McGregor has sold his whiskey, proper number 12, for $600 million. Give me some reaction and context here.
Reaction is, I'm not surprised. I read through the ESPN article you gave me, and I just pulled one quote from it, and it said, Connor said said that proper 12 will always be my baby. I'm sure it will be after that payday.
Now, he's apparently still going to be involved in the marketing angle of it and everything, but is this whiskey worth a damn? I mean, I'm assuming it's source juice. I mean, give me the story behind it, whatever you know, and if it's any good.
Now, I'm sure, I think it's produced at Middleton, where Jameson's produced, where a lot of Irish whiskey is produced. Is the juice good? I think the juice is fine. Irish whiskey is light. Proper 12 is light. It's just a good Irish whiskey, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well,
what do you think about it? Have you tried it?
I have not tried it. I'm not a super big Irish whiskey fan. Actually, the person to ask would be Hester, because his thing is Jameson, which he swears by. So he would be the guy to ask about about crappy Irish whiskey that everybody drinks and is just buying a brand.
We got to get you on some good Irish whiskey, because there's good Irish whiskey out there.
I was just taking a shot. That's all.
No, I know. I could tell.
All right, let's get your questions for Taylor. Let's see. Craig Dugas asked Taylor, he says, first off, congrats. Old Carter, worth the hype and price? Also, if given a chance to purchase, do you aim for the American whiskey or the bourbon?
I have not tried a drop of Old Carter. I do know it's coming to Louisiana, though. I don't know if you knew that, Matt, but it is coming to Louisiana. Have you tried any other stuff? Because I haven't tried any of Old Carter at all.
I have not.
I mean, I've seen it. I've never tried it, though. We don't get the opportunity here in Louisiana because it hasn't been here, but I've seen it in Kentucky. I just haven't had a chance to try it.
All right, here's one from Lloyd Duet. Bourbon Dictionary question. Trying Chattanooga Whiskey Cask 111 tomorrow. Any thoughts?
Still haven't tried that either. I've seen it floating around. Still haven't got to try it.
Well, we have such a depth of knowledge and experience here for you with our guest, Taylor, who is so far over to on the ones we're throwing out at you.
Let's do the third one.
Ask Taylor. How about this? Ian Shaw says, my friends in North Alabama are bourbon and scotch lovers, but have never heard of wheat bourbons when I mentioned it to them. What would be one or two I should send them to try?
Pappy Van Winkle.
Well, come on.
Pick up, I would say an Old Elk wheated bourbon, one of our store picks. That's a good representation of wheated bourbon.
It's magnificent if you find it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Old Elk doesn't offer just you have to buy a pick, right? They don't just have batches that they release.
Yeah.
They do, okay.
They've got wheated bourbon that is released. And I don't know if Alabama gets Old Elk yet. If not, they need to get on their game. But Alabama is a control state, so I'm just not sure.
Brian Stacy, I'm a fan of Willett and Pikesville Rye. Is Peerless Rye my next bottle?
Peerless Rye is it's about a $90-$100 bottle. It is pricey, and it is very young. If you want to spend the money, I think it's good juice. Didn't you just buy one the other day, Matt?
I did. You all had one bottle left of your barrel from Bourbon Festival?
The New Orleans Bourbon Festival, yeah.
And I have not cracked it yet, but I love Peerless Rye. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. So I was very happy to see it and happy to buy it.
It's good. And Willett Rye is similar age. I think Willett Rye runs 3 or 4 years old. I think it's usually 3. The standard flagship that they have, which I think Willett Rye is fantastic.
I agree. Willett Rye has – I'm sorry, go ahead.
Peerless is great. I just think it's a little on the higher end as far as pricing.
I agree. Willett has a very distinct sort of mint peppermint flavor to it.
Which I love in
rye.
I
agree.
I love in rye.
I agree. Dustin Gautreau, is Kentucky Owl worth $129?
No, not to me. But don't you love Kentucky Owl?
So if you're buying the rye, you're not finding the rye for $129.
Nah, about $180. He's talking about the flagship bourbon.
Talking about the bourbon. And I will tell you this, that we did a unicorn flight this past year, was during quarantine, and somebody had a bottle of the Kentucky Owl bourbon, which I had not had, and it was unanimously the biggest surprise of everyone in the group. And I mean, dude, there were some heavy hitters in our lineup, and everyone was like, holy crap, that was amazing. I mean,
Now, are you talking about the flagship bourbon, or are you talking about one of the release bourbons? Like, because I think they're on like number 9 or 10 now. It's totally different.
I'd have to check, but I'm almost positive it was the flagship bourbon.
Okay. Well, because the release bourbons,
it wasn't my bottle.
Super limited. Yeah, those are super limited. They only put them out once a year, and I've tried a couple of those, and they're outstanding for sure. But I haven't tried the flagship.
All right, let me jump into the YouTube chat here. We got about 2 minutes left with Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's in Baton Rouge. Ask Taylor, have you had Michael Jordan's tequila?
Yes. Good. Cincoro is what it's called. I think it's a good product for it. It comes in a beautiful bottle, too. I don't know if y'all can pull it up, but it comes in a beautiful bottle. Cincoro, Cincoro.
Eric Gullett asked Taylor, opinion of Laird Applejack?
I love it. It's a good apple brandy, yeah.
Joshua Duke. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. I was going to go quick.
I'm done. Yeah,
ask Taylor, Matt, what kind of whiskey is Taylor going to hope Tip Calandro grows up to drink?
He is going to be drinking good whiskey. He's going to be spoiled, and Josh knows that. his child is just that spoiled. Josh Jones Oliver twist. So.
Cal Savoy asked Taylor, what do you know or think about JT Mellick Rice whiskey that should be coming out soon?
I haven't tried the rice whiskey. I didn't. They had mentioned it. The guys mentioned it. And JT Mellick's from Branch, Louisiana. They have improved seafood too. But I haven't tried the rice whiskey yet.
Asked Taylor, have you tried Whiskey Jam from Nashville or any of the country music artists' whiskey?
I have not. I've tried. No. I've tried George Strait's tequila, but which we actually have a barrel coming soon, Cody go.
Well,
but I don't think I've tried any of the country musics. Not that I can think of now.
We've got a bajillion more questions, and we literally have 20 seconds to hard break, so we'll pick it up next week. Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's. Congrats again, man. We're fired up for you, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, Matt. Thanks. I appreciate it.
We'll see you. That is Taylor Calandro, new dad, Taylor Calandro. Mike Triplett joins us next here to kick off hour number 2 of AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. I totally am doing the wrong read. My bad, Paul. We'll make it up later somewhere else. But, hey, tomorrow is the Pluckers draft party, the 16th annual Pluckers draft party. I will be there as soon as AFR ends, shooting over to the Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Y'all come join us. Here's the lowdown. Every time a different team is on the board, there's a different drink or food special. So it keeps it moving. We will have Hudco hats. We will have swag from Sazerac Rye from 104.5 ESPN. We will also be giving away Pluckers gift cards. Someone will win a $500 Pluckers gift card. And you don't have to be present to win. You just have to come, write your name on the entry form, and drop it in the box, and you could win. Spend part of your evening or all of your evening tomorrow with us at the 16th annual Pluckers NFL Draft Party at Pluckers on Bluebonnet.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with 12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting Dreams Come True.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll never know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com, the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. A pre-draft NFL trade today. The Broncos pick up quarterback Teddy Bridgewater from the Panthers. Carolina gets a 6th-round pick on Saturday and will pay 70% of Bridgewater's 2021 salary. Live draft coverage starts at 7 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app, 8 Eastern on ABC. Wideout Antonio Brown will re-sign with the Buccaneers. It's a 1-year deal for $3.1 million guaranteed. ESPN's Marcus Spears.
We are talking about a Hall of Famer when it comes to football that still has a lot left in the tank, that just signed for $3 million. These dudes getting 20, 25 for his type of talent.
Marcus Spears on First Take. George Springer will make his Blue Jays debut tonight against the Nationals after signing a 6-year, $150 million free agent contract. Springer missed the first 22 games of the season with an oblique injury. He'll be the DH tonight, hitting leadoff.
Whether it's offering curbside or next-day delivery for online orders on over 160,000 parts, or getting involved in their local communities, when it comes to serving you, Napa's Motor never quits. That's Napa Know-How.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Triplett. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tomorrow, NFL Draft begins. If you recall, about a week ago, our good friend Mike Triplett from ESPN.com, Saints reporter, was here, and we were talking about draft scenarios, and I told him point blank that if the Saints took a wide receiver at 28, I would throw up on myself. My exact words. Well, I was asked to participate in the KJZ mock draft. That's Keyshawn J. Will Zubin on ESPN Radio. And I was picking for the Saints at 28. And as I looked at the board and who was available, there was one pretty obvious player sitting there at 28 who many think would have gone far higher. And I picked him. With the 28th pick in the 2021 KJZ mock draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida. Now, what you don't know is that shortly after I recorded that, I threw up on myself. Mike Triplett joins us now. How are you, Mike?
Disappointed.
Because I threw up on myself?
You've got no conviction. You just wanted to use me as a punching bag for the radio buzz it generated last week when deep down in your soul you were just full of it.
I'm not at all. See, here's my question to you. So you went through the NFL Nation mock draft. Do you pick as if you are the Saints, or do you pick who you would take?
for that exercise, I predicted what the Saints would do, which is that's going to be the excuse, I'm sure, for your pick as well. But yeah, in most of these, I assume when both of us are asked to do these, we are trying to predict what the Saints would do, and sometimes it's the same answer, but sometimes it is a different answer.
So it's 100% what I was doing, because you tell me if you disagree. But if Kadarius Toney is on the board at 28, I think the Saints pick him.
Well, I do disagree because I've done two of these now, but I'll tell you what's funny. I'm doing one in about an hour and a half, similar to the one you did on with Michael Jr. and it's going to do the same thing. And I took Jamin Davis last night in the NFL Nation mock draft. He, of course, is a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I would have taken a cornerback. They were all gone in the top 16. The one I'm doing this afternoon, the top 4 corners are all gone. Jamin Davis is also gone. And I had 3 names written down while I was waiting for my pick to do. One was the linebacker, Owusu Koromoa from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
One was Jalen Phillips, the DE, and one was wide receiver Elijah Moore. Although Kadarius Toney is my next name on the list if he was gone. So basically, that lets you know when people ask all the time, what position do you think the Saints are going to draft in the first round? It doesn't work that way. It's best player available at a position of need. And I think there are 5 or 6 or maybe 7 positions of need. So top corner is not there. Linebacker is a very big need. I think wide receiver is a very big need. I'd probably call them 2A and 2B. Defensive and defensive tackle are big needs. Quarterback, obviously, we just don't really think that fits at 28. Tight end, there's not going to be one at 28. And frankly, offensive tackle, I don't think is out of the question as a long-term need, even though I'd rank that behind the others. So it's about which player that is widely ranked in the top 20 at one of these positions has fallen. And I think Toney qualifies, and I think a bunch of guys at a variety of positions could qualify for that.
So Mickey Loomis spoke today, and he obviously never discloses anything. The pre-draft press conference to me is one of the most useless exercises. Like, what do you expect the GM to say 24 hours before the draft?
Yeah.
But you've obviously covered this team for a long time. Did you glean anything from listening to him today?
Well, I asked him one question, and you're right that they don't give anything away. Although, I've never known either Peyton or Loomis to purposely put something completely opposite of the truth out there. We are going defense in this draft, and they take it off. I've never remember a case where they specifically, overtly went for subterfuge. And one question I asked him was, I said, in my opinion anyway, that I think they have more holes than usual because of all the roster cuts that they had to make. I mean, they got rid of their number 2 corner, their number 2 receiver, their starting nose tackle, their third defensive tackle, their starting defensive end, their top 2 tight ends, and they have not replaced all of those guys yet. It feels like more holes to fill than usual for me. So I said, this was after he had already asked the question, sort of embracing their aggressive philosophy, saying, yeah, I don't mind you calling us aggressive, that we trade up. Obviously, we like to do that. When we see a player we like, we want to go and get them. And I said, would that philosophy change at all this year because you have more holes to fill than usual and you need that volume of picks, which I think they admitted in 2015. That was sort of a mini rebuild where they have 10 picks in that draft, maybe, I think.
Yes.
And they said, we wanted to keep all these picks. And this year, Loomis specifically said, I would disagree with you that I don't think we have a lot of holes. And we prefer quality over volume, and we think this is a hard roster to make. So that was one thing I gleaned from him. I think he could have said, you know what, we have been aggressive in the past, but this year we do value that we have 8 picks in this draft, and we'd like to get a lot of picks in this draft. And he said the opposite. So that doesn't mean they're definitely trading up, but it certainly lends credence to the idea that they may be aggressive again in round 1 of this draft, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them move up.
That was my next question. Do you think they trade up at 28?
I think there's a very good chance because it's their MO. Because even though, like I said, I think they have a variety of holes to fill. you have to move up from 28 to get a definite surefire starter, probably. They can't, you can't go through a mock draft and say, I'm giving them their starting corner in round 1. I'm going to give them their starting receiver in round 2. I'm going to give them their starting tackle in round 3.
Why not? That sounds really good.
You can't guarantee that guys you like will fall. So if there's one you're like, this guy is so good, we can write him in ink as our starting corner or, our starting linebacker. That's the kind of guy you move up for. And I think it's possible when you're 28 that they want to move up to 21 or 22 to get a guy that they're just like, God, we have no questions about this guy.
As long as it's not a receiver, I'm good with that, Mike.
As we know.
Mike Triplett, he's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. What about the rest of the draft? As we have seen the Saints do such great work in days 2 and 3, quite honestly. People always say that's the interest and the excitement is always in the first round, but rosters are built in days 2 and 3. What do you think about an approach for the Saints over those 2 days?
Well, look, last year I think was the most blatant, glaring example of this trade-up philosophy that we've seen, where they considered Zach Bond at the end of round 1 and kept trying to trade up for him. And they're like, let's trade 2 third-round picks and get Zach Bond. And then the next day, let's trade our 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th and get Adam Troutman. So look, they're looking for value all over the all throughout the draft. I think another thing that they've done, especially since Jeff Ireland has been here, is they have a smaller draft board than most teams. They might have 100 guys, that they really looked into. And they're targeting guys. They are not a team that is just like sit on our hands and when our pick approaches, take the highest ranked player. They're going to go target guys that they really like and that fill some of those positions in need. So I don't think they will fill every one of the positions we were talking about, but I think they're going to get at least 3 guys in the first 3 rounds probably that they're really excited about and have big plans for.
ESPN.com, Saints reporter Mike Triplett, read his stuff, ESPN.com. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Mike, we always appreciate the time. A good piece up right now, actually, about the Saints might be able to find that cornerback in round 1, and let's hope that it is, in fact, a defensive player and not a receiver.
I will. Look, to follow up on your last question about later in the draft, I wrote this, I think, before we last talked. I do think they should and get a receiver somewhere in those first 3 rounds. You might want to wait because you see so many good options in round 2 and round 3, and I agree with that. But if they go the first 2 days out of the draft without getting any piece of this deep receiver class, I think that'd be a little disappointing.
I would actually agree with you. Just not at 28. Mike, great stuff as always, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, man. That is Mike Triplett. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, ESPN.com. It's AFR, presented by Pluckers. Again, tomorrow, draft day, our draft watch party is at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Come hang out with us. I'll be there. Look forward to seeing all of you. We will continue our SEC Spring Recap series when we return. We're heading to Athens. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you want to turn your outdoor space into a showplace, if you want to take that boring backyard and make it your own personal haven, that oasis, Pinnacle Exterior Construction can help you. Look around. You will start to see that Pinnacle green so many places. Yesterday I was driving home, as a matter of fact, pulled up on I-10 next to a truck, big white work truck with the Pinnacle logo on the back. But you see their beautiful work all over town. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. They can build you a pool. They can build you an outdoor kitchen. They can build you a fence, a deck, a bulkhead. They do all of that work at Pinnacle. And one of the great things about Pinnacle is because they do all that work in-house, they can control schedules, which means they can get your job done more efficiently in a more timely manner, and they can generally give you a better price too. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 per month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Spring football is wrapped up around the conference, so our SEC Spring Recap Series stops in every SEC town. Today, the train pulls into Athens, Georgia.
Recap on After Further Review. The Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, let's go to Athens. Ryne Dennis covers the Bulldogs for the Athens Banner Herald. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Ryne, how are you, man?
Hey, doing great up here in Athens town. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. JT Daniels, it's absolutely his job, right? And is it his team yet, though?
Oh, yeah. I think he became that man last year about 3 games in. I really do. After he got the starting job about midway through the season. And he's absolutely the guy. I mean, when you look at who's behind him, there's nobody ready to take that job from him at all. And, with what we saw last year in his last couple games and the way he kind of led them to some big wins and led them back in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, against Cincinnati, I think he proved everything that, that's got everybody excited this year about what he could possibly do. So, yeah, I think this is his team, man. I think he's ready to lead them to wherever it takes them.
You know, Ryan, one of the things that we always look in spring and just hope for, number one, is that you avoid injuries. And Georgia, unfortunately, was unable to do that. The injury to George Pickens, a great receiver. Is there an update on if he's expected to be ready for the season?
Yeah, he's not going to play this year, I don't believe. I think the best case scenario is he comes back maybe for a bowl game or if they make the college football playoffs. But I think a lot of us around the beat and whatnot are not thinking he's going to be in a Georgia uniform again, to be honest, because he'll probably, go pro after the year. And of course, if he gets the feedback from the NFL that he can prove that his knee's ready and all that. But yeah, I think he might be done for in a Georgia Bulldog uniform, which is bad because he was one of the biggest targets for JT Daniels. And last year JT would throw the ball up when he saw that he had Pickens one-on-one, and I think he said those were 70-30 balls when he had a George Pickens out there to catch them. It wasn't a 50-50. So that'll be a big blow. And again, it might be if it's an important game like a college football playoff game, then maybe you'll see him, but I don't expect him to come back.
So what offensive weapons are there for JT Daniels?
Well, I mean, he's got, a couple good running backs, with Zamir White. I think Kendall Milton's a guy to look for this year out of the backfield. Now, something we saw in the spring game was him dump the ball off a lot. Now, you don't really know how to read a spring game. They're not going to pound the ball at the middle a lot. But he was good at hitting people. James Cook's another weapon out of the backfield. But as far as receivers go, Jermaine Burton, I don't know if y'all heard, that was another scare they almost had. I think it was the day after George Pickens hurt his knee. Word came out that their second receiver from last year, Jermaine Burton, who was expected to take on that role of Pickens for this upcoming year now that he's down, he injured himself, and a lot of people thought it might have been the same type of injury, but it was just a thing that he's going to be out. He couldn't play for the rest of spring, but they said he should be good to go by the first of summer and do summer workouts and be good to go for the fall. But that's a guy who was a freshman last year, really came on the scene, had a big game kind of at Alabama, another big one where he had about 198 yards receiving. Maybe Mississippi State was a game. They all kind of run together now, right. But it might be third or fourth on the all-time Georgia single-game list for receiving. So he's a guy that they really look forward to this year to pick up some of the slack. And then they have a pretty good group of guys behind him if they can all just stay healthy.
Ryan Dennis is with us here for a few more minutes. Athens Banner Herald giving us our Georgia SEC spring recap. We know Azeez Ojulari likely going to hear his name, probably going to hear his name called tomorrow. Defensively, how does that side of the ball look? As obviously there's great expectations on this Georgia team and this season. Is the defense going to be championship caliber in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been a thing under Kirby, being a defensive guy. He's bringing in people to replace people every year, And, they brought in Nolan Smith a couple years ago, big-time defensive end. And he's been there the past 2 years, but this is the year that everybody's expecting him to – I mean, he was expected to be better than anybody that they had. Even Azeez, I think Azeez was a bit under the radar and then came strong last year and then a little bit the year before. So Nolan Smith is that guy that's going to take his spot. Adam Anderson is another guy, an edge rusher, and you've heard of him in the past few years. But this is also a year I think he can really break out. But the big thing is going to be defensive backs. They got to replace a lot. You mentioned Azeez as a defensive end, but Eric Stokes is cornerback. Might go tomorrow. It's kind of iffy, but more likely second round. Same with Tyson Campbell, another cornerback. And then Richard LeCount was safety, leader for 4 years, and he's leaving. So they're really trying to find some people in the secondary, and they brought in Tyke Smith, a defensive back from West Virginia transfer. So I think they're built to be good in the secondary again, even losing some of the guys they're losing.
Before you go, Ryan, when you look at the schedule, and obviously a lot of people are going to look at that opener against Clemson, which is going to be pretty tasty. Is this schedule built for Georgia to make a national championship, a playoff run with the roster that they have?
Well, I guess we'll find out in that first week, won't we? I mean, if they can slip by Clemson, I think it is looking pretty good. I mean, they got Arkansas, as the West opponent. Everybody feels that the path is pretty easy. Florida might be the only competition in the East, but I think people are feel that Georgia's built to run the East pretty easily. And then, it'll all depend on that SEC championship matchup. And I think this first game will tell us a lot, though. So, we'll see how well Georgia is built against the caliber of Clemson.
September 4th for a lot of people. Can't get here soon enough. Ryan Dennis, Athens Banner Herald, covers the Bulldogs. Good enough to give us our Georgia SEC spring recap. Thanks for the time, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Our pleasure. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Remember, they are hiring over at Relief Windows. As I've been telling you, if you don't love your job, maybe you're riding around right now to or from a job that you don't love, wanting more out of life. Something exciting about Relief Windows is every day you're going to a different home. You're going to a different job site. It's something new challenges every single day, and they offer competitive base salary. They offer 401k, health benefits as well, and they have a bonus structure in place whereby you want to make more, you want to work more, make more, you can at Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. Give them a buzz at 288-8138, 288-8138, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I think Georgia is a fascinating test case this year, or case study. Because when I look at the SEC East, it's been Georgia, Florida, Georgia, whatever. There just hasn't been anyone to challenge, and I don't think this is the year. New coach at Tennessee. What really might we expect from Beamer at South Carolina? New coach at Vanderbilt. Not that Vanderbilt's ever going to challenge anyway. I mean, Stoops at Kentucky has been a staple, but I don't think anyone's realistically thinking that they're going to challenge for the East. So, again, we're just going into this season going, all right, Florida, Georgia, Florida, whichever it's going to be. And because Florida is losing all of their offense, I think we all kind of look at Georgia and say, all right, this is your year. And he's right. I mean, they're rotating cross-divisional is Arkansas. And they get that game in Athens. Now, they got to go to Auburn, but there's nothing on this schedule. Even if they lose to Clemson in week 1, they run the table, go to the SEC championship game and win. They're in the playoff. So, with JT Daniels, you kind of feel like this could be it. But he's right. Look, they lose their entire secondary, and they got to replace that. And I'm not saying that that's going to be easy. But if they can figure that out, and if, more importantly, if JT Daniels is a guy that can go lead this offense, score 38 a game, then yeah, Georgia could or should be there. Losing George Pickens is huge, though. And we have seen guys come back quickly from ACL injuries, but it certainly sounds like George Pickens' career at Georgia is likely done, and he'll be off to the NFL after the season. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. LSU baseball got a win yesterday. Played a little matinee, 4 o'clock first pitch. They shut out Grambling 7-0. Been a minute since we talked to our guy, Alden Cartwright. He will join us when we come back next. Also, Russ Mitchell in hour number 3. Russ texted me last week and was like, hey, Wednesday the 28th, I want to come on the show. We'll talk draft. We'll talk the playoff scenarios, all that stuff. I was like, cool. So, Russ Mitchell, 45 minutes from right now. He did say after the football season that he was going in hibernation for 9 months. He did say that. He did say that. And then he came out of hibernation, apparently. So we will kick tires and light fires with Russ in about 45 minutes. I'm glad you're here with us on AFR, presented by Pluckers. Stick around.
AFR.
What an awesome time to give GMFS Mortgage a call. What an awesome time to refinance your home. These opportunities like this don't happen all the time. As a matter of fact, it's never happened before. We are talking about historically low interest rates. It's why people are able to buy more home now, because over the life of your mortgage, you're going to pay less because interest rates are so low. It's why people are refinancing left and right, because with historically low interest rates, you could lower your monthly mortgage payment. You could shorten the life of your mortgage. You could skip a payment or two. That's what we did. Erica and I save $400 a month on our mortgage. Think about that. It's almost $5,000 a year we saved. And we're going to be done paying off our house 5 years sooner. And we skipped 2 payments. Change your life. GMFSmortgage.com. Get in touch with a local loan officer nearest you. GMFS Mortgage. Changing lives.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll never know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, Musso.
Hey, Matt.
Where are you watching the draft tomorrow?
I mean, sounds like Plucker's going to be a pretty good spot. Not
Good
gonna lie.
spot. Plucker's on Bluebonnet. Draft party. Different specials, food and drink specials. Every time a different team is on the clock, someone is winning a $500 Pluckers gift card. How long would it take you to eat off of a $500 Pluckers gift card?
I could probably stretch that out at least a year.
Come on, join us. Pluckers on Bluebonnet for the draft tomorrow. Eat wings, drink beer. And someone also, Stevie Levy, the king of the wing, sent me a picture. I showed you this. It's a Coors Light beer fridge shaped like the Rocky Mountains.
It's pretty sick. I mean, can I win that? Am I eligible to win that? That's how it always goes.
I know, right? I know, sorry. Or just don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be wrong.
So?
You're right, I'm in.
All right. Musso wins the fridge. Except.
You just told everybody.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's talk some baseball. Alden Cartwright's here.
Cartwright?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, Matt. How are you, brother?
Doing fantastic. Been a minute. LSU baseball got a little win yesterday. Hey, go back to the weekend. Were you more encouraged by the series win or upset over the way Game 3 ended?
Excited that you took 2 out of 3 of Ole Miss, which is not easy to do any year, no matter how good or bad the LSU team is. It's extremely difficult to go take 2 at Swayze.
So I agree, too, by the way, because right now the objective's got to be find a way to get into regional play, and you needed to do something unlikely, and they did that by winning that series, even though they didn't face Gunnar Hoagland, but who cares? A win is a win is a win. So now they move forward, and I've been getting this question a lot about what you do in Game 3. Mikhail Hilliard started yesterday and gave you 3 really good innings. Do you think he should be an option to be the Game 3 starter?
Absolutely, but I don't think that should be decided until Game 3, and I'll tell you why. The theory, you don't ever think about Game 3. You think about winning. Don't get swept, right? Win Game 1. And then, you win, you grab a game and you try and win Game 2. And so if a guy like Mikhail Hilliard or anyone like that, say you win Game 1, just like the Ole Miss series, win Game 2, you're in Game 2, or you win Game 1, you're in Game 2. At all costs, you win Game 2, no matter what. You try and get that win. If it's burn Mikhail Hilliard or burn your whole bullpen, you do it. You grab 2 wins. So, yes, absolutely. I think he should be a Johnny Holstaff type of approach. Mikhail's a guy I've always liked. He can, possibly give you, get you off to a good start. You'll know quickly if he's not. Mm-hmm. Possibly get you to 4 innings, possibly, but could get you 2 solid. I mean, kind of, I've been there. So,
His bad, though, this year, Alden, has been really bad.
I know. It's got to be a quick hook. It's got to be a quick hook.
Why? I guess I look at Mikhail and I go, all right, he's a senior. We know what he is. He's really a one-pitch guy. And when the breaking ball isn't working, 87, 88 on the fastball isn't really going to get out good hitters if you're eating up too much of the plate. So,
right.
I mean, you pitched for Paul and Alan Dunn. I mean, when you're at this point in your career and you're not being used, there has to be a reason, right?
Well, here's the thing about the SEC, or just, I guess, baseball period, at a level like LSU. The trick to success over a career is beating the scouting report for 3 years. The first year, it's easy. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you can do. You're just out there. You're a guy. They have something that they went off your high school stats, maybe, or a midweek game, something. And so there's an element of surprise. Year 4, no surprise.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly what it is. And I disagree slightly with you on the one-pitch guy. Yes, he has one extremely quality pitch in his hook. Velocity, I know everybody, 95 is the new 90. But if you can throw 87 to 88 at the knees and alternate pitches, keep guys off balance, and don't throw over the fatter part of the plate, or get ahead and not fall behind, you can have success in any game of baseball. Big league, you can still have success throwing 87 to 88. But you cannot miss. The margin of error when you throw 95 plus, you can leave a 95 mile an hour fastball and play it once in a while. Might not get hit. 87, down behind the count consistently, 2 1s and 2 0s, and all you're coming is with, 87, just meat fastball, it's not gonna be fun.
But that's been Mikhail's problem.
Right. So,
and we've seen it for 4 years.
Right. And so that's the whole, but if you're in this spot, you're already not in a really good spot for Sundays anyway.
Yeah.
So what you're hoping is Mikhail goes out and rises to the occasion, grabs that inner freshman in him that really pitched really well for the Tigers and can give you a quality few innings. Sometimes it's not, going the distance. It's getting off to a good enough start that your hitters don't get deflated and you're down 9-0.
Yeah. Well, that was rough. that was certainly rough against South Carolina, but that was a brutal spot to come back after the way they had lost Game 2 against South Carolina. Alden Cartwright is with us, former LSU hurler. Spending a couple of minutes here. There is also this question: what do you do at second base? Paul Maneri has continued to tinker with the idea of playing Drew Bianco. Zach Arnold seemed to have that spot locked down. What do you see?
At this point, it doesn't really matter who you put at second base defensively. It's second base. I mean, come on. I mean, there's some. Now, let me caveat that. Cole Freeman, incredible second baseman. You had some incredible second basemen long years. DJ LeMahieu. How that guy played second base, I'm not sure, but those guys go get extraordinary plays for you that take away hits. But routine, Matt, let's be honest, dude, you can go play second base.
All I got to do is catch a ball and underhand it. I'm good.
Just belly it up. You can bobble it. You can kick it around and just throw it to first base. It's not that. I mean, we're making it out easier than this, but these guys are college athletes playing at LSU. Defense isn't the question. It's who can hit. This offense needs runs. We're not, obviously we need run support. You need to get the offense going. So you're going to go with, at second base for sure, the guy that's going to give you the most offense. And right now, I mean, you got to be more confident in Arnold. I mean, let's draw back to your point of Mikael Hilliard being a 4-year guy. I mean, how long has Bianco been around? You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, it's true. I'm with you on it. What about Arkansas this weekend? When you're playing the number one team in the country, I mean, LSU's actually been down this road already, playing the number one team in the country when they played Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt was just a wrecking ball. How much better is LSU now? How do they compete against Arkansas this weekend?
So a number one Florida or a number one Vanderbilt is a lot different than a number one Arkansas.
Oh.
Arkansas's little brother. Oh. We have beat up on Arkansas forever, even when they're really good. We've been worse, and somehow take 2 out of 3, sweep them, knock them out in the SEC tournament. There's just something about Arkansas that you just kick the shit out of them. It's just is what it is. Sorry.
You can't say that, Cartwright.
It's been a while. Look,
did you just go Rohan Davey on me, Cartwright? You got so fired up and you dropped an S-bomb.
I know. You keep me off the radio for too long.
All right. All right. Don't worry.
Apologize.
Musso hit the dump. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. It is, Arkansas. Don't be surprised if they win 2.
I will
or
be
at least
surprised.
win 1.
I will be surprised. I will be surprised if they win 2, Cartwright.
You were surprised when they won 2 at Ole Miss, too.
And they also didn't have to face Gunnar Hoagland. And look, they caught a break with that, Alden, but you take it.
You don't get swept this weekend. That's the goal.
I think that
when you play the number one, you can't get swept anymore. You can't afford to lose 3 anymore. You win 1, it's a success. You win 2, you celebrate big time because it's something special, extraordinary is going to happen. You're going to have to see, Marceau do what he did 2 weekends ago when he just was it 2 weeks ago he absolutely dominated, or was it last week?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we absolutely dominated. He's going to have to do that. Labus is going to have another stellar performance. So you got to win. You got to win one of the first 2.
They have 12 league games remaining. How do you think they do if you had to call it? After Arkansas, they go to Auburn, home against Bama, at Texas A&M.
I think they do enough to make the postseason. I do. It's all about records don't matter. Records matter, of course. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is,
I'm going to let you clarify, bro, but of course it matters.
Thank you. The record matters when the postseason selection. But the way people actually look at it, records to the committee isn't the biggest thing. It's who's hot. Who got hot at the right – you've seen this when – but we were talking about, national 18s. I'm not used to not making the whole playoff thing. But if they're starting to spark, they're starting to get that energy, it is really hard because there's talent on the field. It's there. They've got some pieces. But they have to do extraordinary things. But emotion's great. Baseball's this thing that's beautiful. You can play off emotions and, David, can beat Goliath. That's what's beautiful about baseball. In football, Southeastern's never going to beat LSU. Just,
True.
Not a thing. SEC,
you almost did
like
it again.
I call myself that. I'm a quick learner. Vanderbilt's never going to beat, a powerhouse SEC school. Like, it's just consistently, it's not going to happen. In baseball, it can. And so, yes, I believe they're going to do enough to get to the postseason. And, no one wants a fiery LSU as a 3 seed in the regional. That's just not fun. Because the name across the chest, the tradition has been there long enough for them to be feared.
He is Alden Cartwright. Wash your mouth out with soap.
Cartwright.
And maybe we'll maybe we'll talk again next week. Maybe you clean it up a little bit there, Cartwright.
Yeah, I will definitely do so. I've missed the AFR community.
Oh, we miss you too, man. It's great to chat. We'll talk again soon, all right?
Likewise. Take care.
Later, man. That is Alden Cartwright. Cartwright. This is After Further Review. Mind you about mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. That NASA technology in their air purifiers. These things have been selling like crazy. The one on the set here with me is the Fresh Air Mobile. It's $199. It can purify up to 500 square feet. I'll tell you point blank, I will never travel again, like stay in a hotel again without that. You've seen like all those black light videos of what's in hotel rooms? Bring one of those, let it run. Check in your hotel, go in your room, hook that thing up in there, go to the bar, have a beer, come back in about an hour, boom. Your whole room will be disinfected, clean, kills dozens of pathogens. I mean, it took off this year, obviously, because it's been proven in FDA lab testing, this NASA technology, to eliminate the virus that causes COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So that's why it's blown up, but it's more than just that. It's flu and strep and bacteria and mold and E. coli and odor. It's amazing. This one, 500 square feet, put in your bedroom, take it with you to your office, put in your car, take it with you to hotels, the Fresh Air Mobile. It's at mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. All right, it's After Further Review. We got a lot to get to. Musso is going to have Tigers in the pros. Russ Mitchell, 30 minutes from right now. Big news of the day in the NFL, one day before the draft, is that Carolina has traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Broncos. I want to get some thoughts on that after the top of the hour. Ed Ogeron also talking about recruiting in person again. I mean, you got so much to do. Jam-packed, chock full, and glad you're hanging out with us here. Stick around on AFR.
AFR.
The weather is getting gorgeous. 87 beautiful degrees in Baton Rouge. It is an awesome time to get in your garden and just plant something. They have fantastic flowers at Clegg's Nursery right now, so why not go see them? If you want rose bushes, they got you at Clegg's Nursery. And so many other great options. There's drift roses. There's sun patens. I don't even know what those are, but they look beautiful. And you go plant them. This thing I tell you all the time. Just plant something at Clegg's Nursery. If you're not sure what to get, they're horticulturists. They have the answers for you. Take a picture of your yard. Take a picture of your flower beds. Maybe you don't know what type of flower or plant needs sunlight or needs only indirect light. They have all those answers, and they can help you at Clegg's Nursery. And they've been partnered with True Value Hardware Store, so whatever you find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery for more than 60 years. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in. The Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up hour number 2, presented by Pluckers. Glad you're here. Keep reminding you, tomorrow is the day, draft day. The 16th annual Pluckers Draft Party is going down. As soon as I finish AFR, I'm jetting over to Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Come join us. There will be different food and drink specials for every team that's on the clock. All throughout the first round of the draft, I'll be hanging out the whole time. I'll have Hudco hats. I will have swag from Sazerac Rye. Pluckers will be giving away gift cards as well, and someone is winning a $500 Pluckers gift card. So y'all come hang out with us tomorrow at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. Right now, though, Muso has Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
It's been we've had busier nights from former Tigers in the Pros than we did last night. There's still a few guys to tell you about, and we'll start in the association. Nas Reed, 17 minutes off the bench last night for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bit of a slow night. 5 points, 1 assist, only 2 of 6 from the floor for Nas.
Would have been 18 minutes if he had come back to school.
It might have been, that might have pushed him over the top. Just that last little oomph that he needed.
Needed it. Should have come back.
He made like $800K his first year in the NBA. I'd rather do that than sit in class. I'm just to be honest.
Watford's going to be the same. Watford may go undrafted. I think he'll be a second-round pick, but he's going to be the same guy in the NBA. He's going to be a 15 to 20-minute-a-night guy. He'll score 8 to 10. What did you say Nas had? 8 points? What did he have last night?
5 points last night.
5? How many boards? 5 and 3?
No boards. No boards. 5 points, 1 assist for Nas last night.
What's Nas averaging on the season? Let me see. Nas Reed is averaging on the year 11 points, 4 boards.
For $800K? Sure.
8.
I know that's what he made his first year. I don't remember what else.
Averaging about 20 minutes a night. About right.
That's solid.
That's Trenton Watford for the next one.
I'll take that. Hey.
Yeah.
DJ LeMahieu in the last place. Yankees were in Baltimore last night. 2 for 4 for DJ. 2 runs scored. A double was one of his 2 hits, and he drew a walk. Successful night for DJ. Yanks get the win 5-1. LeMahieu, 262 on the season.
We still stay.
Bit of a slow start. It's not great so far. It's a long gear, Matt.
Shut up, Musso.
It's a long year.
You don't get to talk me off the ledge.
Look, it's a long year, a lot of talent. Just because Gary Sanchez got benched, I mean, it's all right. It's happening. Maybe. Alex Bregman last night in the Houston Astros. Breg's 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored.
Attaboy.
Through 1 month of the season, or almost through 1 month of the season, Bregman holding steady at 308. So
How about that?
Coming back, man, needed it. Tough year for Breggs last year. Tough year for all the Astros last year. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by, do you know that we do this?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com.
KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's best hemp. That's Lewis Coleman's company. Former Tiger pitcher and All-American and national champion Lewis Coleman. KYSBestHemp.com. All this month. So what's today? Today's the 28th. So only a couple more days. All this month, 40% off. They're calling it their spring cleaning sale. So you don't even need a promo code. Just everything you buy, 40% off. So Muse, you better load up on the dog treats for your pup.
Need them.
40% off all this month. So through the end of April, right now for Kentucky's best hemp. If it's the salve, if it's the oil, if it's like the gummy bears or the hemp gummy treats that they have little steak bites, which are the dog treats. Inflammation, anxiety, trouble sleeping, all natural CBD could be the answer in Kentucky's best hemp. Top notch. Save 40% right now at KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging aboard with us here. Russ Mitchell coming up in about 20 minutes from right now. Get you caught up on national headlines from Sportscenter. LSU baseball, they shut out Grambling yesterday. I had some thoughts on that, but we had Cartwright just talk some baseball. There's other stuff I want to get to.
Cartwright?
Thank you. Mel Kiper put out his latest big board, and it was very telling to me looking at the LSU guys on the big board and who was really not on the latest big board as far as what the decision to opt out meant for certain players. We'll get to that. And I got to talk about the big story in the NFL, which is Teddy Bridgewater being traded from Carolina to Denver. What does that mean for the balance of the power, especially in the NFC South? That's all coming up right after SportsCenter. Glad you're hanging out. Hour 3 of AFR, presented by Pluckers, is next.
AFR.
Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEYE.com. Schedule that free consultation. Devin White had his LASIK at the Williamson Eye Center. Caleb Von Chasson had his LASIK at the Williamson Eye Center. Jimmy Ott, Ben Mintz, Paul Maneri, all have had procedures done at the Williamson Eye Center. You could as well. I did. I did my LASIK. Coming up on 3 years now. September will be 3 years since I had my LASIK. I'm still seeing better than 2020. Maybe right now you just need your regular annual eye exam. You can do that. Maybe as you age, especially with spring allergies, whatnot, you have dry eyes. Well, they have a state-of-the-art dry eye center where they can treat that for you at the Williamson Eye Center right there on the Bluebonnet location on the Baton Rouge General Campus. WilliamsonEYE.com. Give yourself the gift of sight. Be done with contacts and glasses forever. The Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. WilliamsonEYE.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new RAV4 for $329 per month. That's $329 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen. And they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with 12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is Sportscenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is now with the Broncos. Denver gets Bridgewater in a trade with the Panthers today. Carolina gets a 6th-round pick in return. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports this move does not take the Broncos out of the quarterback market during the draft. Right now, the Cowboys hold the 10th overall pick tomorrow night. How should they use it? ESPN's Matt Miller.
Offensive line's getting old. There's not a position on defense that they don't have a need at. So I think this is a good year for them to just sit and take the best player available at a position they need. And also, they have 10 picks in this draft. They have a lot of draft capital, so they can add a lot of players, and they need them this year.
Matt Miller on Greeny. The Bengals will not pick up the 5th-year option on offensive lineman Billy Price. With the deadline coming Monday, so far, Price is the only first-round pick from 2018 to have his 5th-year option decline. There's an NBA doubleheader on ESPN tonight starting at 7:30 Eastern. Lakers and Wizards in Washington, D.C. That one will be followed by the Clippers and Suns in Phoenix.
We're back on Thursday, and the NFL Draft is finally here. Yes, finally here. So we'll tell you how many teams are one player away from contending for a Super Bowl. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Thursday morning on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. We're here, glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Let's hump, everybody. It's hump day. NFL draft tomorrow.
What day is it, Mike?
Mickey Loomis met with the media earlier.
Hump day.
Let you hear from him.
It's hump day.
Mike Triplett.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Let you hear from him.
Hump day.
Alden Cartwright cursed on the show.
It's hump day.
We continued our SEC spring recaps at Georgia.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell in 15 minutes.
Hump day.
Taylor Calandro is here.
It's hump day.
Conor McGregor got $600 million for his whiskey.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
A lot going on today.
Hump day.
All right, let's cruise here through our 5 o'clock hour. Glad to have you hanging out with us. As you heard there in Sportscenter, top of the hour news, the big news on the eve of the NFL draft is that Carolina has traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Denver Broncos. The reason this worked is because they were able to split the financial burden. The Panthers had signed Teddy Bridgewater to a deal worth $63 million over 3 years, with $33 million of it guaranteed. Well, they restructured Teddy Bridgewater's contract, and this year, Carolina is going to pay Teddy Bridgewater $7 million. The Broncos will pay him $3 million, so that's why it worked. It didn't cost Denver a ton. And Carolina is the one that is going to have the gigantic cap hit. Teddy Bridgewater got a $33 million dead cap number. I mean, it's just staggering. So for Carolina. So if you're a team that's not planning to be a contender this year anyway, and clearly Carolina is not, okay, you're young, got a lot of affordable rookie deals. You can swallow that money, save a little bit of cash, sending Teddy Bridgewater to Denver. You got your guy in Sam Darnold, and you recoup a 6th-round pick for him. What is really interesting, though, is if you're in Carolina, there's been conversation about, does Carolina take a quarterback? And theoretically, trading for Sam Darnold takes them out of that market. But look at what they have. You got Sam Darnold, who started 38 games in his career. Your other quarterbacks on the roster are Will Grier. Remember him, started his career at Florida, had the PED suspension, went to West Virginia, played for a season under Holgorsen, played pretty well, went into the draft. He started 2 games in his career. And then P.J. Walker started 1 game a season ago when Teddy was injured. So, by the way, they have Tommy Stevens as well. Remember the spite pick that Peyton made last year that ultimately they cut and then Carolina picked him up anyway? He's on the roster. So, maybe Carolina is settled for this year, if nothing else, or maybe they'd still be in the mix now without a good veteran backup option. And you can say the same for Denver, and you heard the report there from Schefter that just because they've traded for Teddy, it doesn't mean that they're out of the quarterback market for the draft. But you've got Drew Lock, you got Teddy Bridgewater. Are you going to invest a pick in a quarterback? If you know you got Drew Lock, you just gave up a pick to get Teddy, and then you're going to draft a quarterback and keep a 3rd quarterback on the roster? Don't know. But I still would maintain this. If you ask any Broncos fan, hey, would you be okay winning a Super Bowl, but for the next 5 years you're not going to make the playoffs and you're going to be the worst quarterback franchise in the NFL? Would you do it? It better be a 100% unanimous yes. Because the objective is to win Super Bowls. Not to ask Saints fans that question. Would you trade a Super Bowl 5 years ago to have been the worst quarterback team in the NFL over the past 5 years, or would you prefer all the wins that the Saints have had coupled with the playoff disappointment? Answer's easy. Is for me anyway. All right, draft is tomorrow. You'll hear the draft. If you're listening here on 104.5 ESPN in Baton Rouge, you will hear the draft right here. We will be at Pluckers tomorrow. As soon as AFR ends, I'm jetting over there. Muso's coming too. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Paul out there. I hope Paul doesn't come because Paul tends to just talk everybody's ear off. So I just don't want to.
It's really inconvenient, honestly. You can't get a word in edgewise.
I just don't want to bother people, right, Muse? I mean,
like Paul, you.
Say, Paul, just shut
up. You just met them.
Shut up, Paul.
You just met them, Paul. I mean, give them some space.
He doesn't even defend himself.
I'll tone it down a little bit.
Thank you, Paul. God.
So good. So good. Paul, are you coming?
If I can get out of here, yeah, maybe.
Okay, Paul may come. All right. Meet the crew. Y'all come hang out with us tomorrow at Pluckers. Blue Bonnet. Pluckers on Blue Bonnet, by the way. Got lots of good swag. Give Muso a Hudco hat, too. Paul, I'll give you a hat, too. Got Hudco hats galore. We'll sling them everywhere. This happened today. So, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin is the national morning show on ESPN Radio. And they're doing their mock draft, and they ask people who cover the local teams to make the picks for their respective teams. So they asked someone on our staff to do it. They asked me to do it. I did it. And so they give you the picks of who's available or who's already been picked. So I look at who's available, and I make the best pick. Picking a receiver is not the most amazing thing. This was actually the most amazing thing that happened.
And finally for today in the KJZ mock draft, we have the New Orleans Saints with the pick. It's Matt Moscona from ESPN Baton Rouge and New Orleans with the 28th pick.
Did that guy nail my name? What? Now, Muse, I know that wasn't Zubin. Who was that?
I'm actually not sure it was Zubin's replacement.
Who was filling in for Zubin this morning who nailed my last name? No, our own voice guy on the station doesn't nail my last name.
He's got to be Italian.
Gotta be.
He has to be.
I mean, I get Moscona, Mosconi, Moscano.
Moscona.
All the vowels. People don't know where to put the emphasis. They get them backwards and mixed up. They get the wrong vowel sound. I mean, that guy nailed it. I would like to congratulate he who is filling in for Zubin on KJZ right now, who absolutely nailed my last name. Congrats to him. Can I hear it again? I want to hear it again. Let me hear that guy again, if I could.
KJZ mock draft, we have the New Orleans Saints with the pick. It's Matt Moscona from ESPN.
He didn't even have to stop. He didn't
think
about
about
it. He didn't just nailed it. So good, that guy. I did pick Kadarius Toney, and my approach in being asked to do that is make the pick that I think the Saints would make, and I think the Saints stay true to their draft board. We've seen that. Receiver is a position of need, and if a player like Toney is there at 28, and he's the best player on the board at a position of need, I think they take him. And the Saints have 4 positions of need: defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, wide receiver. I mean, that's a sort of unanimously understood circumstance for the Saints right now. And if there's a player, the highest rated player at one of those positions on the board at 28, I think they take him, unless if they move up. And I would be totally good with them moving up, being aggressive, and taking the best cornerback on the board. If they stay at 28, just give me the best defensive player. Whoever it is, give me the best defensive player at 28. All right, after further review. Russ Mitchell's going to join us. I really wanted to talk about Mel Kiper's big board because it's his top 150 prospects in the draft, and he's got 3 LSU Tigers. Maybe we'll delve into this with Russ when we come back. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day, edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, you know Ichiban, always a great option, voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. Find your favorite specialty roll at Ichiban. Essen near Perkins. When you walk in, you see the Japanese, the metal Japanese tree sculpture, which is backlit, the arched entryway. It's like you're walking out of Baton Rouge and into New York City or Chicago or L.A. It is a decadent dining experience. And from our friends at Ichiban, their newest concept is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. If you've not been to Electric Depot yet, very cool. I'm proud of Baton Rouge for all they're doing, man. The whole mid-city area is coming along so great, and Electric Depot is a big part of that, and Bo-Ru is right at the heart of it. Place has been packed. Indoor, outdoor dining, authentic Japanese ramen. Every noodle is handmade, and the Sweet Society dessert shop is attached to it, so you can have your dinner and your dessert all in one place at Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Ichiban and Bo-Ru.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I think Russ is going to be a great coach in college football.
Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires.
Russ!
Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname, you're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas.
It's like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
He's out of hibernation. Russ Mitchell joins us. How are you?
I'm up, kicking the tires, lighting the fires.
Before we came
just
on.
To be honest.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. What?
Musso goes, remember when Pandemic Russ was just drinking on the air unapologetically, like shaking his glass so he could hear the rocks in your vodka?
By the way, don't call me next week because I'm going back to bed. This is literally just I'm up and I'm going to the toilet and then I'm going back to sleep.
Hey, man, you called me. You were like, hey, Wednesday the 28th, I'm coming on. I was like, okay, come on.
This is true. I got things to talk about, man.
All right.
I got things. We had spring games. We've got football to look at. We've got the FCS playing in a playoff. I'm actually watching that.
Are you really?
Football. Yeah, football, man. Playoffs, it counts. I'll watch it.
Okay. Do you want to start with draft or spring football?
Oh, which would you
All
like
right,
to start with?
draft.
Are we going to do two segments?
Yes. How many LSU players get drafted?
Oh, is this like? Do we have like an over and an under, maybe? Or
Well, let's
do you
say
want-
this: you're gonna have Chase, you're gonna have Marshall. I would
in the first round.
No, I'm talking total in the draft.
No. I mean, I'm saying both of them are going in the first round.
Oh yeah, for sure. Chase, Marshall, Jabril Cox. I think Jacoby Stevens is going to get picked. Tyler Shelvin should get picked, and then after that may be it.
Vincent will get taken now.
All right, Kerry Vincent.
It's a passing league, so
What do you think about Racey McMath?
Well, it's so funny too because when you got the embarrassment of riches that LSU has with wide receivers, if Racey's playing on almost any other team, it's like, he probably has a much bigger reel of plays to be able to show people. I think he definitely is playing in the NFL.
Okay.
I don't know if he gets drafted.
Over under 6.5 Tigers drafted.
Over.
Well, then who's the other one?
Torrey Carter. I don't think Torrey gets drafted.
Well, no. I'm saying how many get drafted? Because you have Chase, Marshall, Cox, Stevens, Shelvin, Kerry Vincent. That's 6. You said over 6.5. Said 7. So who's the 7th?
Under.
Oh, you said
I'm out of practice. The whole math thing. Under.
What do you think?
I don't think Racey or Torrey get drafted. Although I think they both have a very good chance of making a team.
I am really interested in Jacoby Stevens because I think he is perfectly suited for the NFL with the style of defense that he plays and where the league's going. What are your thoughts on Jacoby?
I love Jacoby, and plus I think he's one of my most favorite LSU players over the last decade. He's a leader, and he's a stud. He's very coachable, does whatever you want him to do. He was a star coming out of high school, adjusted to not being a star. He'll put on 25 pounds if you tell him to. This kid is a stud. The knock on him is that he sometimes gets lost in open space. He doesn't have the speed to be able to close quickly, in a vertical passing game. But I expect Jacoby to have a very long, productive NFL career. I will be disappointed. Even, you listen to all these folks say, he's too big for a safety and not big enough for a linebacker. It's like, man, the game is changing. You gotta be able to play that hybrid role, which he can play, and I think he's going to have a very successful career.
I agree with you. What do you think?
Plus, he's a stud. He's a leader. He embraced that role. There's so much more to playing football than just how high you can jump.
But he jumped really high, too.
Yeah, well, I'm just using that as an example.
I know. But he jumped really high and ran really fast, too. I think he's going to be – I agree with you. I think I'm surprised he's not getting more attention because I think he plays the same style defensively that Isaiah Simmons did. Now, Simmons was a top 15 pick. I'm not saying he's that guy, but he's that style. He's like caffeine-free diet Isaiah Simmons.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. What about we have a bunch that I want to talk about, so I'll move a little quickly. Let's go to spring.
Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to spring. I wanted to keep going draft.
All right, go draft. Kyle Pitts.
So I really like this kid, and especially as football the NFL has evolved into this quarterback league, and it's so difficult. But man, the folks are saying he's going to be a top 4 pick. Dude, he's still just a tight end. I know he's like a really special athlete, and that makes it very difficult. But I don't know. I just like who's the best tight end for your money right now in the NFL?
Probably Travis Kelce.
You taking him with the 4th pick in the NFL draft?
It's different because he's not a tight end in the traditional sense. But to your point, would I rather Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase? I would rather Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and then the only question is, they already have a bunch of wide receivers, so I'd still take Jamar Chase. In fact, the only team, literally out of the top 5 teams in the drafting, the only one that should not take Jamar Chase is the Bengals.
I know, right?
They gotta take guys to protect Burrow. They just spent all this money in this number 1 pick to get this guy. I mean, what difference does it make if you get him all these weapons if his leg gets snapped off?
I know. His knee exploded. And
by the way, once your knee is, and I'm speaking from experience, once your knee explodes once, it's like, you get like one chance. Like, if they can rebuild it, you don't get to go back for 2, right? If that happens again, he's done. So you got to protect him.
You know what's interesting, Russ? Like, you would think that LSU fans would be super geeked about the notion of Burrow and Jamar Chase playing together, which looks like that's likely to happen here. But it seems like overwhelmingly people here are saying, please just protect him. Like, please keep him upright. Draft the left tackle that's going to be the perennial all-pro guy that protects your quarterback's blind side for the next decade. It seems so obvious to everyone except, I think, the guys making the pick.
I'm not surprised at all because Burrow is so loved inside the state of Louisiana that it would almost be like he's your kid, and you're like, oh, my God, can you please protect him?
That's kind of what it feels like,
It reminds me of let's just protect him. Let's protect him.
Would you rather Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle?
First, you can't go wrong, but Jamar Chase over Devontae Smith, definitely. And I love Devontae Smith, but Jamar Chase is just as good and bigger. And, I think I'd take Jamar Chase. Waddle's interesting just because he fits that, he's got that hybrid mode with the speed. And, depending, like Hill out of Kansas City, if you've got a quarterback like that and you're running an offense like that, like let's say the Chargers, or the Rams, that if you drop that far, that's a pick that I think Waddle in that offense could be, but everyone looks at how well Jefferson did at Minnesota. Jamar Chase is better than Jefferson.
I know, right?
I know it's a 1A and 1B, but if you had to pick between Chase and Jefferson, who do you pick?
Chase.
Chase.
And Jefferson just set the NFL rookie receiving record. It goes to show you how absurd that team. And by the way, the third guy on that team is about to be a first-round draft pick too.
First-round draft pick, and so the fourth and the fifth were like, who? It's like crazy.
Russ Mitchell's with us on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Got a lot I want to talk about still. We got to talk about spring. We'll talk about the college football playoff stuff.
I want to talk about everything that's going on at LSU too. So save some time for that.
Okay. Let me break. And
want to do that now?
Yeah, let me break, and then we'll come back, and that'll leave us plenty of time to do all that. Russ Mitchell's with us. We'll do another segment. Russ's conversations, as always, are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. We'll knock out a quick break, and we'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area. If you would like to get your COVID vaccine, if you want to reserve your shot, you can do so at brgeneral.org. If you want to learn more about the vaccine, you can do so, brgeneral.org. Right there on the homepage, you'll see, it's right there on the flipper on the homepage. You get all the information about the COVID vaccine. More than 31,000 people have already received the COVID vaccine at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org. You could be next. brgeneral.org. So much, though, the way that they're expanding healthcare, if it's cancer services, if it's delivering babies, if it's outpatient procedures, If it's elective procedures, the Baton Rouge General Hospital does it all, and they're partnered with the Mayo Clinic Care Network, so you get expert access to the Mayo Clinic's experts in clinical collaboration at no extra cost to you. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country state.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Continuing with Russ Mitchell out of hibernation. What did you think about LSU's spring game?
Well, I was surprised to see you didn't take some snaps under center.
Well,
how many quarterbacks
4
does LSU have now?
4
5?
4.
5? I thought 5 took snaps.
Who's the 5th?
I don't know.
Brennan, Johnson, Finley, and Nussmeier. So 4.
512 passing yards, right? So, and if it had been, look, it's a spring game.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason why I sleep through most of these. Right, it's like Texas A&M didn't even have anybody. They had guys playing offense and defense. Because they didn't have enough people. These, so we can go through them fairly quickly. But it was neat to see Jake's offense. Jones, so you guys dipping into the NFL talent there. Pete's is obviously going to throw the ball a little bit more. I thought Brennan looked. I really like Brennan heading into this year, man. If he can stay healthy, I really like him. JT Daniels too, just a great spring game.
Did you want to go through like every team because there's 14, or do you just want to go like?
Well, I'll just
takeaways?
skip the ones I don't want to talk about.
Okay,
You
so
want to just go through the teams
all right,
by division? And
let's do this. Bama.
Oh, just remember, this is the difference between Alabama and LSU, man. I mean, and granted, y'all lost a lot of kids off the 2019 team to the NFL, but they had 3 of the Heisman Trophy finalists last year, and they're still stocked, right? You know, I mean, Bryce Young threw for, 400 yards. They got this freshman. Did you watch their game?
No, hell no. I barely watched LSU's. What would I care about a spring game?
They have a freshman, Utai Hall. Just remember the name because he's the next in the long line of Alabama great wide receivers.
Great. Can't wait to see him. Oh, what about Auburn? New coach?
How about Bo Nix comparing himself to Jesus? I don't even think. Listen, that's never a good thing, man. If you're driving around right now, let me give you a huge piece of advice. Don't compare yourself to Jesus.
That's a high standard.
I don't even think Jesus would compare himself to Jesus. Jesus would be like, yeah, that's too much, man. That's too much.
What about Arkansas?
KJ Jefferson looks good. They got 3 big running backs. Woods leaving to Oklahoma. You know, I think that you guys have probably talked about it too. Saban's been talking about it. I think this whole new transfer portal thing, and I've always been in favor of the players, but it's going to get ugly. It's going to get uglier before before they figure things out.
What it is.
It's good for LSU.
Georgia, Florida.
Florida, there's nothing to talk about other than the fact that it's shocking that Grantham's still there.
I know, right?
They gave up 31 points a game last year. 31 points a game, over 400 yards. They finished with 3 losses in a row, including a beautiful one to LSU, which was just, I love all my children the same.
No, you don't.
I do.
You liar.
I do. That's not true. I love them all the same.
Nope.
Just some of them are a little harder to love the same. And that would be the Florida Gators. Although now that Foley's gone, it's a little bit easier. Georgia, terrible. Really, the injury to Pickens is really disappointing. They got a ton of talent, though. Mitchell, the freshman, he was the star of their G-Day. 100 yards and a touchdown. They got the big tight end Washington. They've got now 3 wide receivers that are injured, so we'll get to see them. And remember, Pickens can still come back in November. So if Georgia beats Florida, they could get him back late for a championship season run. And Daniels look good.
Don't care about Kentucky. What about the Mississippi schools?
Don't care. Although Kentucky's got the kid from I say the kid. The assistant from the Rams, Cohen.
Okay.
That'll be interesting to see. Okay.
Who? Mississippi
Missouri?
schools.
We don't have to talk about Missouri.
Mississippi schools.
The Mississippi schools. Can I just say, I love me some Lane Kiffin, man. I mean, he gets it, right? So he turned it into just a party. Because it's what it is. It's a joke. I mean, you've got guys sitting out, barely playing. So he turned it into a party, and afterwards they asked him, he's like, if I was watching and I was a kid, I'd say that's a fun place to play. I want to go there.
That's actually pretty true.
So it's about recruiting. So he hands out T-shirts to all the students that show up. Party at the sit, baby.
Party
and then
at
on
the sit.
the first series, Matt goes out there and bombs to Sanders, and it looked like the Alabama. Listen, he's going to make Oxford fun, and that's what these kids want.
Yeah.
Now, if he could just find some defense.
So, 2 second-year coaches in Mississippi, 2 new coaches at South Carolina and Tennessee. We learn anything about either of those guys?
South Carolina. Do you realize they've only had 1 season in the last 7 that was where they finished over 500 in SEC play?
I could believe that, yeah. Will Muschamp suck?
We've come a long way since what Spurrier built, man.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say, they got so much work to do in South Carolina. Their offensive and defensive lines are okay. Not great, but okay. And they're not deep, so I guess they're not okay. But okay, we're done with South Carolina. Tennessee, how Josh got Banks to come from Penn State to run the defense there. But, they put up the two offenses down there put up nearly 1,000 yards in their spring game. So it could be an exciting offense in Tennessee.
A&M.
Oh, they didn't have anybody, man. I mean, they like I said, they barely had enough guys to play a spring game. There's so many key players are out. I think that the one thing you can take out of that is that I think Haynes King is going to win the starting role there under center. And I take over from Mond, and I think King's pretty good. So they got a lot of talent, man. You know how I feel about A&M, one of my problem children. And but they're just as we thought they would. Jimbo's putting together a pretty good squad down there, and so they're going to be pretty formidable next year.
So we're running short on time, and I know there's two more things you want to talk about. One was the playoff expansion, and then you also want to talk about what's happening at LSU. So
let's skip the playoff expansion.
Okay.
We've talked about it before, and it's more important to talk about LSU.
Okay, go ahead.
So, again, you can hit the bell. Go ahead and hit the bell. Let's do a preemptive bell hitting or ringing so that I can say we. Thank you. All I ask for as an alum is that I want to win, but just don't embarrass me, all right? Just don't embarrass me. So when I'm going around talking all over the country, people aren't asking about LSU the way they ask about Baylor and Penn State and Michigan State. And, I don't even want to don't start comparing. You know what I mean? Like, don't start saying that or Michigan State and all the crap that went on in those places. That's a problem. And if you've got a problem, fix it. Don't try to tap dance around it. Don't try to drag it on to a death of 10,000 cuts. As an alumni, particularly one who writes checks to the school, can you please fix this? I don't want to be reading about this for 2 years. Fix it. And if there were people involved that are still there, and they are still there, and they allowed this culture to exist, get rid of them. There's no room for this crap. You're embarrassing me. And, I think that man, there's just no room for this crap. There was never room for this crap, but there's certainly not room for it in the climate, in the world we live in today, and thank God for that, because any environment where women have to feel, scared when they show up to their job is crap. And to tap dance around this and try to blame other people, just, lay it all out on the table. Every time you try to cover it up, you make it worse, right? Just lay everything out on the table, say this is everything that we did wrong, we apologize for all of it, and now we're going to make it right. And then move on. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Was that too much?
No.
I don't want to be embarrassed about. I love LSU. I love Louisiana. I love everything about the state. I love going all over the world and talking about Louisiana. I've had a very lucky life, and I get to people get, for some reason people listen to me, and I love telling them about how wonderful Louisiana is, and when the flagship school for the state is being associated with all this stuff, just finish it already, man. Just like what? Like, you think it's just going to go away? This is just the beginning, man.
It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, my God. Wasn't there just some class action lawsuit 2 days ago or yesterday or something?
Yes.
Well, guess what? What do you think the term class action means, man? And that goes through this year, through 2021. There's going to be women coming out of the woodwork. And every time they come out, it's just going to be like ripping a scab off this thing. And I'm going to get asked about it. And the good name of Louisiana State University and the good name of the state of Louisiana is just going to get drug into the mud. Because of the behavior, this whole thing about pushing stuff down the line. Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody else finally said it.
All right, I'm going back to sleep.
Talk to you in September.
All right, bye.
That's Russ Mitchell. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. 752-0001. 752-0001. Love sharing great testimonials. How about this one, which came in from Jeff Bruno, which said, Dustin was excellent. He was friendly and polite. He found the problem, fixed it within an hour. I'm so pleased with the quick response of your company. Top-notch, 5 stars. Another satisfied customer at River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001. 752-0001. You could be next. Preseason AC tune-up available right now for just $97. Y'all, spend the $97. Have one of their qualified technicians come out to your home, clean your AC, tune it up, tip-top shape for the coming warm weather. 752-0001. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Only a couple of days left in the month. Remember the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Their VeloShape, Ultra Shape, and Vaser Lipo specials throughout this month. Deep discounts, 20% off VeloShape, Ultra Shape, and about a 30% discount on Vaser Lipo. Check it out. If you got those problem spots that diet and exercise can't knock out, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, they can help. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
So Brain walked out on you?
Quit. Actually, I fired him.
I talked to him. He's doing all right.
Well, you know what? Good riddance. I don't care.
He felt there was a little bit of a slip in the journalistic integrity. Of the show.
You know what? You can only have a guy miss the Cartwright drop so many times before you finally say enough is enough, and you have Matthew Musso, who's under the desk, come out and say, all right, I'm now the producer of this show.
There you go. There you go, Musso.
That's what had to happen. Good thing Musso was just hanging out here, just happened to be here.
Oh, man. NBA tonight, Matthew.
Are you also going to get into the ponies tonight, or are we going to do that tomorrow?
Let's do that tomorrow. We're gonna have extensive coverage from Rufino's on Friday, the entire 10 a.m. hour with Eclipse Award-winning Michael Bachok. He won the national NHRA $1 Million Handicapping Contest 6 years ago, so he'll be with us for the entire hour. Dwayne Colucci actually he does some seminars on the Kentucky Derby and how to bet it. So he'll be joining us for a couple of segs, and Rob Henney will be with us tomorrow show. So the big thing is first, the favorite at 2-1. Ooh, that is a short price for a 20-horse field. I mean, with the horses of this caliber. We'll have a lot of coverage, but
all right.
I don't have a pick for you today. I lean on those guys for the picks on the horses. But we're excited, man. 30,000. Moving in the right direction as opposed to canceling it last year, moving it to the first Saturday in September. So 3 games in the NBA tonight. We went against the Knicks and broke their winning streak the other night with the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns came from double digits down. But we're going to back them tonight. And Tom Thibodeau is kind of creeping closer to Monty Williams and Quinn Snyder for the odds to win NBA Coach of the Year. But we think the Knicks are going to come back tonight against the Bulls, minus the 4 at home. Pels game tonight. We're taking Denver -4 against the Pels, and also the Wizards. The Wizards have that winning streak going still. They have covered 12 of 13. They're taking on the Lakers tonight and catching 1.5 at home. So that game's on ESPN also. So the Wizards catching 1.5 against the Lakers, Denver -4 against the Pels, and the Knicks to get back on track -4 against the Bulls.
All right, Otter, anything in MLB tonight?
MLB, no, we're taking the night off
Okay.
in Major League Baseball. We got spanked a little bit. You know what is funny though, Matt? Went 3-5 last night on the show, but profited money because the two biggest dogs, 225 dogs, the Reds hit and the Tigers hit at plus 225. Kershaw's going to end in that little run. It's funny, that's been an angle. Even A-Rod gave that angle out on Sunday Night Baseball, that there's so much emotion involved in the Padres-Dodgers series. It has been highly profitable, fading those teams after. They went 1-4 combined after the first series, and they've started out 1-4 this time after this series. So kind of interesting, little angle there by A-Rod.
Real quick before you go, Otter, I heard you and Charlie earlier today talking a little bit about draft picks and props. Anything you want to give now, or are you waiting on that?
I love Kyle Pitts under 5.5. I love him, and we're going to have
5.5.
5.5. Now you
Wow.
got to lay about $2, to the under. But yeah, minus 5.5. So
okay.
I'm going to take a shot because it's plus $2 at ATN being the first. It's plus 225 to be the first running back taken, and I'm even going to take a shot on J.C. Horn plus 220 to be the first cornerback taken.
Okay.
So yeah, so they J.C. Horn, you see 12.5 or 13.5 depending on where you shop. Patrick Surtain. His is at 10.5. So we'll see, man. And Jamar Chase is at 5.5. We'll have a bunch of picks for you tomorrow.
All right, Otter. We'll look for you then, man. Have a great show.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, Muso, what did you learn?
Cartwright forgot he can't curse on the radio.
Folly.
Conor McGregor sold his whiskey for $600 million.
$600 million.
What did you learn, Matt?
I learned that, we're still really good at reading each other's minds because mine was that Cartwright is pretty rusty. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. This is a great example of how calibration matters and the things that Michelli does. For example, let's say you have to weigh things to haul loads. Well, if you have a $3 loss per pound and you have a 20-pound variance over 12 loads per day, you're talking about losing $720 a day. Over the course of the year, that's nearly $200,000 just because you have an inaccurate scale. That's staggering. That's what Michelli fixes. So if you are in a business that weighs or measures things, they sell, lease, and service the products you use to weigh and measure. And they have offices all over the country based out of Harahan, been in business since 1947. Learn more at Michelli.com, Michelli.com.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting Dreams Come True.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.